everyone, welcome to Casma Creations. For those who don't know me, I'm an artist and I love to do creature designs, especially dragons. And that's what we're gonna do today as well. Today we're gonna draw an outline for a sketch, just to make it ready so we can fill in all the details later on. And this is actually how I start my drawings. I make rough sketches of the shapes and I usually start with the head. And if you struggle with your drawings, I actually recommend making a couple of sketches like this without going too much into detail, because details, they can take up a lot of time. So if you skip that part, you can actually focus on getting the shapes right, getting the proportions right, and become a bit more free in your sketching in general before you commit to the details. Not that details aren't important, because they are, they completely transform your drawing, but that's not what we're gonna do here today. And as you can see, I'm very light with the shapes that I'm making. If I want to position the eye, I look at the head, and this is kind of like the middle of the head. And the 3/4 of the head would be around here. If it would be a horse, the ears would be here. So for this dragon, I'm going to position the head here. Again, I draw very light so I can make adjustments. Today I'm drawing with ballpoint pen, so I can't erase. But if you draw with pencil, you can erase later on. But be aware that you don't get stuck in erasing all the time. I think pencil sketches are beautiful too, but my mistake with them is that I kind of get lost in trying to fix things. So that is why I often draw with ballpoint pen. But I do use pencils occasionally because it does look very beautiful. And don't worry about being messy in this stage. And also, this is a sketch. And a sketch is nothing more than putting an idea to paper. And if you feel your sketches are bad, that is okay. These are your concepts, your ideas, and you need to work them out later on. If you don't start somewhere, then how do you start at all? I want the dragon to look to the side. So this would be his throat here, it kind of start here. And the middle of his throat will go something like this. And this is where his shoulder would be. I did draw a wyvern a while back with a kind of similar pose. I will link to that video so you can give that one a go as well. But this is gonna be a dragon. So he's gonna have front legs, hind legs, and wings. To position the legs, I just kind of imagine how it looks on a horse. Just keep in mind we are making a sketch. And this is an idea that we're putting to paper. If you're drawing along, which I encourage you to do so, then you can get some practice in as well, and maybe you will change some things here and there because you don't want it to exactly be the same, and that's totally fine. I'm almost drawing outside of the screen. And what I do now is I emphasize the lines that I'm pleased with. So I'm giving them more details. I'm using more pressure and I'm making them darker. Drawing and talking at the same time is not as easy as it seems, but I'm practicing it. There are also videos on my channel in which I don't talk at all, but I do want to share more of my work so you can see how I draw, because I get many questions and if you want to learn from me, I'm all up for that. I'm happy to share. But yeah, like I said, talking is still a bit difficult for me sometimes on video. So there are some videos with just music, and I hope that's okay too. Yeah, what I really like about ballpoint pens is that you can use different pressure, and you can make very light lines before you commit to them. gonna draw some lines inside of the horns so they get the effect that they are twisted. That would actually be a cool name for a metal band. That we could call it Twisted Horns. If there already is a band named like that, you should let me know. And these horns are twisted in the other direction. If the legs, the shoulder would be around here, but because he's a dragon, he will have a double shoulder. This is kind of some sort of a front view. So I'm guessing that the wings should start around here from his back. There's like a shoulder located here, and there will be a shoulder located here for that leg. It go that way. Our Halloween dragon is a bit in the way, but that is how I fill my sketchbook. If I'm pleased with this one, I can always draw it again, because this is just the concept. This is the idea of him, and if the idea works, if we're feeling it, we can do it on a separate piece of paper and actually really go into detail, and then we can work with pencil. So we do erase mistakes on that version, and then we're gonna really try our best on it. But in my sketchbook, like I said, I like to work with ballpoint pen because they're concepts. And I don't want to focus on them to be perfect. I want my idea to come out. I want that freedom. This part would be in the shadow. So I'm making it a little bit darker. But not too much, because I want to do most of the shading when we're going into detail, because I have some fun ideas for this one. I'm also gonna add a little bit of shadow here, because that part will be darker too. And at the moment I'm just looking at pictures of llamas and camels, because I'm actually thinking of turning this one into a tundra dragon. I'm keeping a little bit shadow here. The jaw will go something like this. Later on I'm gonna add details here. But I might add some spikes there as well. Because I want this one to be a thunder dragon, it's gonna have fur instead of scales. So with the first layer of shading, I am gonna keep in mind the direction of the fur. And if you don't know your direction of the fur, you need to decide on that first, and then you just draw some lines of the direction. So the fur will start here, will go in that direction. But here on the throat area, it will go towards the middle. So I'm just gonna make some light lines, so I know where to create the fur and in which direction it should go. And here as well, it should go that way. And these are just guidelines to help us later on. And it makes our sketch really messy, but that's no problem. And for this, I'm looking at pictures of camels and llamas and animals like that, because they kind of have that neck shape of a dragon, and you can actually see very well how the fur is on their necks. So now we have the outline for our dragon, and the next part is that we're gonna fill in all the details and the shading. I'm gonna do that in a separate video. But if you want to practice drawing creatures and designing creatures, making quick sketches like this is really helpful. It's very good practice, and it will make it will help you improve your art a lot faster than you would draw in all the details all the time. Details are important, so we're not going to forget about them. But first we need to think about proportions, about shapes. And as you know, I take a lot of inspiration from animals like this, a horse, a camel, a llama. And I'm going to work on the fur for the tundra dragon. And I hope I will be back with you soon for the next part. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you with the next one.